Welcome to Kendall Speaks. I'm Dr. Bryan Stewart, Kendall Campus President, and today we have some very special guests with us, and we're going to talk about our Innovation Hub. First with us is our Chair of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Zhiqi Zhang. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
Good to have you. Dr. Ernesto Lee, our Assistant Professor of Technology. Good to have you back.
Glad to be back, Dr. Stewart.
And finally, Ms. Cristina Mateo, our Senior Campus Administration and Administration Services. Thank you for being here with us today and back again as well.
Thank you, and good morning, America.
Well, today we want to talk about an exciting new opening here at the Kendall Campus. We're a few weeks away from opening our AI Hub. So let's start with a little, what is our AI Hub? And let's explain to our audience what the importance of our AI Hub is for our students and community. And Dr. Zhang, we'll start with you if that's okay.
Well, AI Hub is a comprehensive instructional space that consists of several different components that serves all the needs for students to learn about AI. So, Cristina, you know to the bone of every component. Why don't you take it from here?
So the AI Innovation Hub actually is a multidisciplinary space that will integrate AI into many different disciplines. As we all know, AI now is universal. And without AI, in many cases, it's very difficult with data analytics and business technology and financial and all of the different industries. The AI Innovation Hub at the Kendall Campus has many different instructional spaces that we will talk about in a few minutes.
Professor Lee, talk a little bit about from the faculty and the student perspective how important this hub will be.
So I like to think that we like to catch people in the light and celebrate that. But this is my first time that I've been able to be a part of creating the light so that our students have a place to really just kind of explore and grow. As Cristina mentioned, it's multidisciplinary space and it's also an interdisciplinary space. So even though AI is in the title, AI is like electricity now. It's going to touch every single industry, every single discipline. And so we finally have a space right here on our Kendall home so that we can integrate AI just across the board and benefit our community.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about how this space is going to help position us as a leader in the AI education. What are some of the benefits and how do you think it'll position us?
Well, our secret sauce is that we are an applied program. So we go beyond the theory and we have actually applied projects. So we now have a space where our students can work together and build a lot of projects that are going to be helping the community. There's several examples that I can provide, but this brings us together. It brings all of their best and brightest minds together to solve problems. That's the benefit.
That's great. Dr. Zhang, anything you'd like to add to how you think it'll help position us?
Well, it is so integrated, and now we finally have a space that students can call home when they want to do anything about AI. So we have AI applications, we have cybersecurity, we have our Cisco networking racks. We even have a VR space. So whatever the students' interest is, they will find a piece of it all in one centralized location. The place is equipped with the most up-to-date, advanced state-of-the-art equipment and will be managed by a great team. So I so look forward to the full functioning of the AI space.
Ms. Mateo, you've been working with the community and a lot of vendors and a lot of people that have helped pull the space together. Talk a little bit about your excitement and what you're hearing from some of the community and some of the people that have kind of walked through it.
So it was actually a very challenging and enjoyable type of project. I have been at Miami-Dade for many years and I have worked in many major projects, but this one actually has been exciting. One of the things that I enjoyed the most was working with all of the technology companies, video content developers. We learned a lot through it, having expertise, faculty involvement. So we were bringing in faculty like Dr. Lee and others to the table every time that we needed to enhance and come up with solutions. So one of the things that also I see is the partnership with the industries. That is like very important. Like right now, Miami-Dade College partnered with Google to expand access to industry-recognized credentials that will support the career development and workforce advancement in Miami. Unlike Google, there are many other industries that we can talk about later on that Miami-Dade College has partnered with.
Very good. That's great. We know that AI is being integrated across a lot of disciplines, not just in technology, but in business and health science and social science and the arts. Let's talk a little bit, Dr. Zhang, Professor Lee, talk a little bit about how we think this center is going to help the whole campus kind of engage with AI more, if I can say it that way.
So this is our electricity moment. So just like when electricity came out, in the beginning, people had no idea how to use it. People were more concerned that you were going to trip over wires, couldn't really see how this was going to benefit. This is our electricity moment. One example of how we're integrating AI across the disciplines, especially in our space right here, is we've been working with our education faculty. So we've been rebuilding a lot of the education courses to integrate AI and the teaching of AI into a lot of the education curriculum because we decided that that would be a very impactful and powerful way to reach the vast swaths of our student body. So that's where we started working with our education faculty, bringing projects in so our students can integrate AI into the education curriculum. And that's K through 12, and also a lot of our faculty as well. So this is, and not just our data analytics or AI faculty from all disciplines, business, social sciences, just across the entire spectrum.
Yeah, it's such a big thing now that I think this hub is going to put us at the front of all the conversations. Let's talk about some of our classroom space. I know that we have 4 amazing labs that are coming in. Let's talk about an example of any of you of one of the labs and maybe how AI will be used in those labs.
So we actually envision 6 different instructional spaces within the AI Innovation Hub. One of them is the Smart Solutions Classroom. We also have one that is a cognitive lab. And when I say cognitive lab, when you think about AI and you say, what is a word that resonates with AI is transformative, cognitive, adaptive. So all of our spaces actually relate to that one word that AI is all about. The other 4 classrooms are the AI applications classroom. We have a metaverse architecture studio. So talking about interdisciplinary and coming in with something out of the box.
Right.
And faculty are very much enjoying that concept. We have the network solutions classroom and as well the cybersecurity. And we have spaces for our common areas for our students to be able to do CAP projects with industries and the data analytics and robotics, never to say the least. So it is a well-rounded AI innovation hub at Miami-Dade College.
And I'd add also, too, we're future-facing also. So the next 15 years are already kind of laid out, right? We're at the AI age. Now we're at they call it the agentic age, where the AI is doing stuff. We're at the cusp of what we call physical intelligence. In other words, the robots. Anybody ever saw the Terminator, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're just
Oh,
about
yeah.
to enter the Terminator era.
Yeah.
And then we'll have quantum. But that's the next 15 years. It's already mapped out. And when you look at our space includes something from everything. All of these emerging technologies are already there. And this gives us an opportunity to innovate. It gives our students an opportunity to get out in front and not just be a part of the conversation, but to lead the conversation.
Yeah. Dr. Zhang, are you excited about the opportunity as the chair to utilize all these spaces you've got some amazing faculty. Professor Lee's one of them, but
Of course.
I know you're excited about how to integrate all the spaces into your programs.
Definitely. What I love most about this AI Innovation Hub is on the ground floor of a building that's centrally located on the campus. I'm so excited to showcase our student projects and our classroom innovations in front of the whole campus for our own student, faculty, staff members, and for any guests that are coming.
My next question is first for you, then to Professor Lee. Talk about the students. I want you to talk specifically about our students, but Dr. Zhang, talk a little bit about how you recruit students, what sort of your process. I know you have some advisors and you work really hard to get the word out to the community, but talk about how maybe this is going to be a game changer for bringing in more students.
Oh, definitely. I had to face a very hard question to answer until now that we have such a great program, faculty, and student projects. Whenever there's activity, why can't we do it at Kendall?
Right.
So now, finally, eventually, we see the light of being the center of the college because of our vast availability and quality and possibility in this AI Innovation Hub that we can finally can host students' events, competitions, datathon, hackathon, any industry board meetings. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's a real game changer.
Yes.
Firstly, with our high schools and our
Definitely,
schools and in the
definitely.
community. That's really good.
Definitely.
And Professor Lee, to Dr. Zhang's point, you get pulled to a lot of our other campuses to do things. It's nice to have you home
Yes.
doing it, to her point.
Exactly.
Talk a little bit about the type of student that you're seeing and what you're seeing in the classroom.
Sure. So we actually are pulling students from, you would think it would be technology students, but it's not. It's students from everywhere across our community here. I've had medical doctors. I've had several college students from local colleges, from graduate programs that have come here to take our AI classes because we are known, at least regionally, if not nationally, for being applied. There's a lot of use cases for research, a lot of great universities around here, but 90+% of the people don't care about that. They care about, what's in it for me. How can this help me? So we've seen our students have been from all types of backgrounds, from waiters and servers, all the way up to medical doctors. So that's kind of the composition of our classes. The beauty of the center is that it now gives all of our students with this diverse background an opportunity to come together and to collaborate and to build out projects. Because we're applied, we're project-based, our students are now able to come together, work in the center. They're also able to work with teams from cybersecurity and data analytics and things like that. Beyond that, we can start to serve our community just so much more. So I have to leave here and go do something with Commissioner Regalado after this. So we'll be talking to 200 local businesses. And the question was, why aren't we doing those types of things to engage the community right here? So we now have a home where we can start to bring in and engage local businesses, to bring our students together with those local businesses. Workshops, we're at the forefront of, we're the tip of the spear. I like to think that we're the Marines. We're the ones that come in and kind of break down the door. We're the tip of the spear when it comes to this. But this gives us an opportunity to really showcase what we can do for our students and also to our community.
Yeah, I think that's well said. When I'm in the community, I hear a lot of people look to us for AI. They're looking, trying to understand it. And I think you've given some good examples. Talk a minute about the background that some of these students need to have. Most people would think you have to have a pretty substantial math background, but is that the case? I mean, talk a little bit about what you're seeing as background for a lot of these students.
Okay, so I know you have a math background. I have a physics background.
There
so
we go.
I'm gonna tread lightly when I say this. You don't need a PhD in engineering to drive a car.
Right.
Okay, so just like with AI, do you need to understand some math? It's not the math. Math is it's a language. It's another way to express an idea, is what math is. But there's multiple ways to express ideas beyond the math. I'm not saying that the math is not important, but I'm saying that it's not central for a lot of the things that we need to do with AI, especially with applied AI. If we're talking about research, it's a completely different animal. But for applied AI, in order for you to 10x or 100x your capabilities, you don't need deep math. In fact, for all of my classes, the first 2 weeks, is just convincing people that, hey, you got this. You can do this. It's less about what you know, and it's more about how you think. And so these classes are designed to it's really designed to encourage you to rethink your relationship with AI. And then once they absorb that and they get past their fear of math, because it's real, we see it all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Then you just see them just explode.
Let's talk a little bit more about the careers that are out there. Dr. Zhang, I'll start with you. What are some of the careers you're hearing? I know you stay on top of all of our programs and try to keep all our curriculum fresh and up to date, but what kind of careers are you seeing for these students?
Actually, this is a very broad answer to the question because I've seen students in career in all kinds of field. So I'll just use a very particular example. We have a student who has a fine art major in photography. He worked at Baskin Palmer as a medical imaging specialist, and now working in a private company as a product specialist. So to bridge the gap between the end user of the software and the program developer. And you would not imagine that he took almost all of Dr. Lee's class and is also going to enroll in the AI-based cloud DevOps class to help with his career. This student even convinced the company to purchase or to pay for the subscription for cloud, which is an AI tool to help the whole company's developer and a coder in improving their medical codes to read images.
Wow.
So that's just one of the example, and in all the imaginable field, data analytics, any technology field, even any of the STEM field, psychology, you name it.
Just really versatile is what
Yes.
you're saying. Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people too, by the way. I'll add that. I just want to add one thing to this. So what is this technology? What is it? So this technology is really the first time ever in human history that we have a machine that can replicate, what goes on in your prefrontal cortex. So it's the first time that we have a machine that replicates short-term thinking. So, when you ask the question, like what kind of jobs are out there and things like that, well, this thing is replicating thinking. What job exists that does not require thinking? And if the job requires some thinking, then AI is going to be disruptive. Is it going to replace some jobs? Absolutely. Just like, when the car was invented, it replaced the horse as a mode of communication. Is it going to create new jobs? Absolutely. Just like before electricity, there was no need for electrical engineers. But is it going to disrupt every single industry? Every single job will be impacted by this. So I've seen, if I could just tell just a brief story, because this just happened last week. I have a student that was in my advanced NLP class, and I won't name names, but he's 47 years old. He said he has been a waiter his entire life, and he moved up to be a manager at some resort around here somewhere. He said he was at a meeting at the hotel or the resort, and they had a technical problem. And he said, well, that's easy. Went to the next meeting, came back and demoed. He says, is this what the problem is? They hired him. They hired him, so this is his first time going into technology from a background as being a waiter. Now
Service
he's going to
industry,
be
now
service industry, and now he's an engineer for
cool.
the first time. But I've seen a lot of folks. We talk about like new jobs, like we check the metrics, how many people are getting jobs. But the metric I don't think we do a really good job of capturing also is that there's been a ton of students that have come through our program, and they've taken the existing job that they have and they've elevated it because they have AI empowered themselves. So they're 100x, what they were prior to learning how to use AI and apply it to accounting and social media marketing and on and on.
So they're actually creating their own jobs in a lot of ways in those situations.
There's so many. Anytime that there is a transformation like this, you have the gray beards like me that's resistant to change, and then you have these new hungry young lions that are coming in looking to disrupt. And we can see that happening in real time right now.
That's great. Ms. Mateo, I want to turn to you and talk a little bit about, you mentioned how amazing the project this was. Talk about what your role in this construction, because I know you spent a lot of time in meetings, and talk a little about globally how you've run this project and got us to this point.
So basically, we started working on it like close to 2 years ago in the design phase. I have to say that we started with Wolfson campus with one space. Then we went to North for another little space. And we learned from all of those. So we actually created a huge innovation hub with many different aspects to it. And we are very pleased about that. During that phase, since I was at North, Wolfson, and other campuses before, I was able to say we need to come up with how are we going to use the space for the instructional purposes? How are we going to be able to have all of these different disciplines now integrated as opposed to just being technology? So during the design phase, it was very important to bring in the faculty, to bring in Dr. Lee, to bring in Dr. Zhang, to bring in architecture faculty, to bring in all engineers. And we have been in and out with expertise from the instructional area, working with the architects, working with engineers. It was also how do we take existing facilities, which is very challenging, and converting that into high technology areas, state of the art, with the latest digital displays that integrates among all of them. How do we take interactive video walls that will be able to support students when they're walking around? In terms of the construction, it was also, do we have enough electrical panels that will be able to support all of these high-end computers? It was about finding out what type of computer level do we need to be able to support the future AI. So it was very exciting. We went back and forth many different times. We thought we had it, and we say, no, we need to go back because we actually went to many different presentations of technology in the industry to see what was out there and what is it that we really wanted. So we took our time to be able to have, the latest. And it was working with two different architects. It was also challenging because we wanted the space to look as one and that they work very well together. We all worked very well together. It was about bringing in commercial furniture companies that will be able to have that look that we wanted. We didn't want to have a cookie cutter type of facility. We wanted to be exciting that when we have high school students coming in, they will say, oh my God, or when we have professionals like Dr. San and Dr. Lee were mentioning, they will say, this is where I want to be. So we are supporting a number of degree programs here at the college. We have from AI Awareness College Certificate programs that are only 3-course programs, short-term, for somebody just to learn about it, to the AI Practitioner College Credit Certificate program that is only 6-course program that will take you to the hands-on. We have the Associate in Science in Artificial Intelligence, the Baccalaureate of Science in Applied Artificial Intelligence, and also in the non-credit side, we have professional short-term courses and programs that we can do. We work with the high schools. We have boot camps, we have summer camps, and we also have dual enrollment programs.
You
Can I
mentioned,
add
yes, sir, go
just,
ahead.
Just one thing to this. I don't think Ms. Mateo gets nearly enough credit for what she does. She puts the innovate in our innovation spaces. We had conversations about Cristina being our general when it comes to that. The concept is more like almost like an iPhone, right? You use your iPhone. You don't think about, hey, how do I send an email? You just use the phone so you can focus on your task. And so for us, as I'll speak from the point of view of a faculty member, when we go into those spaces, we don't have to worry about so many things because she's already done all of that for us, and we can just focus on what we do best, which is teaching our students and making an impact. The other thing I wanted to add also too is that the proof is in the fact that we've had Google come out. The chief technology officer for Google came out. And I was fortunate enough to stay in contact with him up until this day. And he was still talking about it months after the fact about how our space is innovation. It really is kind of the model that he would like to see throughout the rest of the world.
Yeah, we need to bring him back too when it's all complete. One thing you said, Ms. Mateo, was furniture. I was really impressed with the different types of furniture. Talk a minute about how you thought about, because each space is different.
Yes, actually, for example, the smart classroom, we started that we were going to have the nurse station, that the nurses come to your room and then you do your computer, and we say that's what we should be doing. But as we continue to work, we said, no, that's not what we want. What we want is to be able to have lots of flexibility with very high-end type of technology. So we went with actually the top line of laptops And we have the Smart Solution Classroom to be very flexible for that purpose. We also included movable walls that will be able to expand to unite 2 or 3 different places. We included furniture in 2 or 3 different locations that when we open it up, we can combine them. So there was a lot of thought put into this. We also wanted to cater not only to the high schools, but we also wanted to cater to the professionals. So we picked furniture that was safe for high school students, but it was professional enough for
right.
the industry. And then all of our classrooms, they have a different look. Cybersecurity has a very much like a, if you were doing a cyber attack, how do you do it with multiple video walls and digital walls, etc. And the furniture also is appropriate for that. And the metaverse is completely different. Metaverse has 4 different digital displays that interact with the students when they're making presentations, when they're doing the immersive.
What was the most complex part of this project? If you could come up with one thing that maybe you lost a little sleep, you may have lost a lot of sleep, but is there any one thing that sticks out that was complex for this?
Technology was one, to be able to make sure that we were not falling behind 5 years from now. I would say that was the number one, but I would say following the footstep was timeline and money.
Yeah, right. Let's talk. We've talked about our students and careers and the building and everything. Why is it important that the Kendall campus have this dedicated space? And Dr. Zhang, we'll start with you and we'll go around the table.
Well, we have a large population of hungry students. I'm not limiting it only to high school graduates from our feeder schools, but just from the local community, that there are so many people look for upskill. And just like Cristina mentioned, we have levels of different programs from CCCAS and all the way to Bachelor's of Science in AI. And quote in data analytics, which is a close relative, so that students can use maybe just a selection of our courses to upskill. And we are equipped with the best talent of faculty. Now with the space, everything feels more complete.
We have everything now for faculty
Yes,
space.
yes.
Professor Lee, what in your mind was the reason we should invest in this?
Well,
facility?
after COVID, you could see people kind of just turning into a recluse, and all the research shows that there has been negative effects, let me say, from a lot of isolation. So we need a reason to bring people here. So we have a space where we can bring people here together. Even though I'm in AI, this is still fundamentally we're in the people business. We're in the business of changing people's lives, and that's fundamentally a one-on-one, a kind of a human type of interaction. Right. So now we have a reason and a space to bring people here, to innovate, to bring our students together across disciplines. I'm excited.
That's great. We've heard from the administrative, the faculty. Now what about the facility view? Why do you think it was important, Cristina?
I think that it was important because we have partnered with many different industries right now, and it is time to bring them to be with us. So like I mentioned before, I talked about Google a little bit, but we also, Miami-Dade College has partnered with OpenAI Academy to enhance the AI literacy and education through a multifaceted collaboration with Miami-Dade. Intel, we partner with the Mark Cuban Foundation for boot camp for our students. We also partner with IBM to create unprecedented educational pathways for our different programs. And not to mention Microsoft, we partner with them and NSF. So, we have everything right now in the drawer with great partnerships, impressive. And what we were lacking was the facility. And now we have the best facility in my book to be able to offer our community and to receive their degrees at Miami-Dade College Kendall Campus.
There you go. Let's go around the table again, and we'll stay with you, Ms. Mateo. What milestones are you looking forward to in the near future with this building?
So I want to position Kendall Campus as the AI innovation hub for Miami-Dade County. And I think that we can accomplish that now. So.
Okay. Chair Zhang, what What are your milestones that you see in the near future?
Whenever we talk to parents in various events, regardless of how many events we do outreach, we visit their schools, we host open houses. The predominant response is, do you guys have, wow, I didn't know that you guys have a bachelor's program. So the milestone, now we have this facility to showcase our great program. I'm looking for is whenever they think about the leading institution in the local area for AI education, especially when they think about getting a bachelor's, they think of an MDC.
Very good. Professor Lee, what milestones do you have in the horizon?
I think Dr. Zhang said it best, showcase. We have been, I no longer want to be the best kept secret in South Florida when it comes to AI in education. We have our students that every single semester, they crank out amazing, amazing projects. And they are discovered in almost an asymmetric way. I'm looking forward to being able to do that work through the Innovation Hub so that we have a central place where we can showcase the talents of our students.
That's great. We spent a little bit of time today talking about community partners and industry partners. I just want to not go past that question. Is any other partnership that we want to make sure we highlighted? I know you mentioned some, Ms. Mateo, and you, Professor Lee. I think we did a good job of hitting all those, right?
We work a lot with local government as well, too. So we work with the mayor's office a lot. Several of our students have done projects in there. We've trained, I think it was 700 at last count, but it was 700 county employees. Well, we're looking at hopefully continuing that program and bringing them through our space here. As I mentioned, that's for the county. There's several local cities that's within our region here. We're looking to also impact local government as well through the center.
If we had someone listening who's intimidated by AI and thinking about attending the Kendall campus, Dr. Zhang, let's go around the table. Start with you. What would you tell that student?
Intimidated?
Yeah, concern. What would you tell someone that's thinking about AI and how Kendall might help them?
Okay, I'm gonna first hit them with one word. AI is inevitable.
Inevitable. Okay.
So there's no way that you can hide from it. Why don't you just embrace it? Let's show you the right way to embrace it.
And come to see us, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Mateo, what would you say? What would you say to that student out there that's thinking about coming to the Kendall campus?
I would say that the future is here. And it's a transformation, and we're here to help them and hold hands. And we have everything it takes to get you there.
That's great. And Professor Lee, what would you say to that student?
I've heard inevitable. I've heard transformative. I would say disruptive.
Disruptive. Wow,
So
three good words.
It's going to be AI. It's either going to replace your thinking or it's going to scaffold your thinking. So come on over here so we can show you 100 extra capabilities with AI.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, we like to end our broadcast with turning the microphone around and letting you ask me a question. So if any of you'd like to ask me something, I'm happy to answer it.
I'm very curious as to, I was going to say how do you, but let me ask it this way. Do you use AI in any of your day-to-day activities?
It's a great question. I was at a meeting on Friday with one of our publishers looking at calculus, algebra, and chemistry. And we were looking at how AI is involved in helping students. And so I think we're going to see a lot more textbooks, not just textbooks like you're using, but textbooks in other areas like chemistry. Physics was something we talked about. And I think AI can really help students. And I teach a pre-calculus class early in the morning. And we talk a little bit about AI and how to use AI to study. So many students want to use it to answer their questions, but that's not really helping them learn homework. So I really think AI is going to evolve into a really critical tool. And I think it's our role as leaders at Miami-Dade College to help shape how our students use that in the classroom.
I hear there's a very good book on that called AI and the Art of Productive
You know,
Struggle.
I was actually going to bring up the book, The Apex, that I just got presented by one Ernesto Lee that I got today. That
I
I'm
hear that's
excited
a
to
good one,
read.
too.
I do too. Well, that's good. We'll definitely have to. Maybe that's another podcast. Any questions?
Dr. Stewart, as the leader of this campus, what is the milestone that you are looking for?
as Ms. Mateo mentioned, we've both been so maybe stressed is the right word of getting this building completed or the renovations completed. I just can't wait to get the building open again because, Building 6 is such a vital link to this Kendall campus. And we'll do another podcast on our STEM building that we hope will be even an additional link to this building. And I'm most excited to see Building 6 back because so many students hang out there, and I think this first floor is just going to make it maybe the hot spot of the campus. Christine, anything you want to ask me, or have you already asked me all the questions?
I would like to be able to, in the future, be able to hold like AI summits here and be able to bring in different industry representatives from athletics, sports, to health, to others to come together to the AI Innovation Hub at the Kendall Campus. And I would love for you to take the lead on that, and we will support you 100%.
Well, I'm happy to support it. And I think that's the coolest thing about this is we don't know what it's going to be 2 years from now. I mean, as you said, it's the tip of the spear. And where we are, this is just going to open so many doors for us going forward. So thank you all for being here today. Please look at the book, The Apex Rule Book, hot off the press. Professor Lee, thank you for bringing that. Thank all three of you for being here. This was you all have been on this podcast before, and I think we may need to have a regular feature as we move forward. But thank you for being here today. I want to thank our head writer, Cristina Sines, our producer, Paul Klein, and Alex Bello. Thank you all for being with us today, and goodbye for now.